Alright, let's see if this works. Terra Ground, Astral Barrage, Water Shuriken into the partner. Let's go. Greninja time. Let's go. I feel like I'm a little bit of a downer accidentally about this Pokemon sometimes, because I'm often a little bit critical when I talk about it. So just to be clear up front, I'm not a Greninja hater. I just like this Pokemon a moderate amount, and am aware that it's been very, very heavily marketed as if it's one of the greatest Pokemon designs of all time. Basically, to me, Greninja is sort of the most glaring textbook example of a Pokemon design that is almost awesome, but just held back by one key thing, because when I first saw Greninja on my screen in my first playthrough of Pokemon X, I had two initial reactions, and yes, one of them was, whoa, Ninja Frog, cool, but the other one was, ew, is that its tongue? That's weird. And I've never quite gotten over that. And of course, Mega Greninja doesn't fix that. It's a key element of the design. It would be weird if they did change it. That said, I do like Greninja. It is still a fairly cool Pokemon. It's just not my favorite fully evolved starter of its own generation, much less one of my favorite Pokemon overall. And I actually am higher on Mega Greninja than some of the reactions I've seen. I think the upside down hanging from a giant shuriken, it's a little bit odd looking, right? But I do think it's cool. I think Mega Chestnut and Mega Delphox have gotten my attention a little bit more, but I've seen Mega Greninja criticized as just hanging upside down. There's a little bit more to it than that. There are some sort of smaller changes in the design, and as always, I think it's going to look better once we're actually using it in-game. A lot of Pokemon designs that look kind of weird at first end up aging well as we get to see how they move in the actual game, or we just get some time to get used to them. So I think Mega Greninja will prove to be pretty cool, and I think they'll probably go 3 for 3 on awesome Mega designs for the Kalos starters. That said, at first reaction, I do like Mega Chestnut and Mega Delphox a bit more. Anyway, the formula here is the same as always. I have a Reg H team and a Reg J team to give Greninja a little bit of a showcase because they have announced a Mega form for it. For the Reg H team, as I teased last time, I wasn't sure that I would find any results for Greninja in tournaments, but in fact there were a couple that showed up in the Top Cut Explorer for the Monterey Regional Championship recently. I'm going to go with this Rain team that made top 8. That's a pretty good result for Greninja, and it has a pretty clear niche on this team that is easy for me to intuitively understand. And I guess that makes this the first Monterey video for the recent tournament there on this channel. Of course, there will be another one coming very soon. At least one more, but anyway, this is a pretty typical Rain team, except that they have the Sinistcha for more bulk survivability stuff, right? It can help to keep our Chaladon and Annihilate healthy, because setting up those two Pokemon is part of the key for this team. The role that Greninja fills here, well, it does a handful, actually, it does a few things. Number one, it has the Loaded Dice and Water Shuriken combination, which itself does two things for this team. Water Shuriken is a multi-hit special attack, so it uses Greninja's better attacking stat, and it has +1 priority, I believe. And with Loaded Dice, it will hit 4 or 5 times. It should then hit reasonably hard in Rain, so it gives Greninja some decent offense to play with, but it also can be used to set up teammates. You've probably seen Mousehold click Population Bomb into a teammate or Chaladon. That was a big thing at an event last season to give it multiple stamina boosts. Greninja can do the same thing with priority with Water Shuriken. And it is into our Chaladon's weaker defensive stat, but at least it's resisted. And we can also side Water Shuriken into our own Annihilate here, maybe even terrestrialize it into a water type so that the attack is resisted to set up Rage Fist stacks, in much the same way that Mousehold often clicks Beat Up into Annihilate. So Greninja has both of those setup options available to it, with Sinistcha in the back to help keep those Pokemon healthy once they're set up, or Greninja can just attack itself with the Water Shuriken and Rain. We also have Haze as an emergency button into, I imagine, mostly Dondozo, maybe some other setup stuff, maybe even opposing our Chaladon sometimes. And Greninja can click a fast Rain Dance itself, so we have another way to set up the Rain besides relying fully on Pelipper. Greninja doesn't have Prankster, it doesn't get priority on Rain Dance, but its Rain Dance is just very fast. And then the rest of this is pretty standard Rain stuff. Pelipper, Basculegion, and our Chaladon is a very familiar core for anybody who's seen Rain teams in this format. Pelipper setting up the Rain. This one is running a Focus Sash, and so I've made it fast and offensive. And then we have the Assault Vest or Chaladon. The Choice Band Basculegion should hit extremely hard, going turbo fast with Swift Swim, and they have Terra Water to double down on the power of all these water-type attacks. But obviously, I'm going to try to use Greninja to set up our Chaladon and Annihilate. That's the main thing I want to do here in this Greninja showcase. Let's see how it goes. Shall we? I do think they should bring Ash Greninja back. I don't know why they ever got rid of that. I have my Battle Bond Greninja in Pokemon Home, but I honestly kind of regret transferring it up, because if I just kept it in Gen 7, I could still turn it into Ash Greninja. Mess around with that in-game. It's banned in VGC anyway. Battle Bond Greninja I don't think it's ever been VGC legal, but why would they take Ash Greninja away? Very strange. I kind of hope I get to click Water Shuriken into this Blaziken. That actually is a pretty reasonable check for its speed boosting shenanigans. The rest of the team here is Kilowattrel, Garchomp, Alolan Ninetales, Kingambit, and Dragonite. So they do have a way to disrupt my weather, but this is where it's useful to have Greninja as a secondary rain setter. And I think our Chaladon can go pretty crazy into this team, actually. Like, I think Greninja or Chaladon is probably a reasonable lead here. I might want to bring Pelipper in the back. And Basculegion. Or I might want the Sinistcha to help keep our Chaladon healthy. A lot of their team is very threatening into Sinistcha, but it doesn't really matter if I can beat them with our Chaladon, right? I'm going to bring Pelipper and Basculegion, though. That was my first instinct here. They lead Kilowattrel and Garchomp. So no weather from the leads. I don't think I want to Terra Bug the Chaladon in front of Kilowattrel, but I think that's okay because I can give it a bunch of stamina boosts right now. I'm going to click Slide Water Shuriken into our Chaladon. It's also probably better to not have rain up when I do that, just so the Water Shuriken does less damage to my own Pokemon. And I kind of want to Draco Meteor the Garchomp. I could Body Press the Garchomp, then I take a Rocky Helmet damage. Draco Meteor, of course, weakens our Chaladon's offense, but I can Electro Shot into most of these to get the offense back up. Maybe not the Kilowattrel because it could have Volt Absorb. I don't know whether it does. I can set up Rain to make the Electro Shot go. So I think Draco Meteor into Garchomp is okay. They protect. Alright, sure. But I get the side Water Shuriken. I get some stamina boosts. We fill the screen with text. I always enjoy doing that on Showdown. And I take out Greninja in exchange. But I think I'm okay with that. I think our Chaladon is pretty hard for them to beat from here. It is a little bit tricky to figure out what Pokemon to bring in next. I think Pelipper is probably reasonable. Actually, maybe I want Basculegion. Problem is Kilowattrel can knock out Basculegion. I just don't like... I'm probably giving up weather control here. I can protect Pelipper this turn. I can attack Kilowattrel. If it's Sash Kilowattrel, then this won't KO. Maybe it doesn't anyway. I don't have any special attack boosts on our Chaladon. The Stomping Tantrum does some damage still. Might have been best to bring Sinistcha to this. Okay, it's not Sash Kilowattrel. I was very afraid of it because I thought it would be. Go Blaziken. There's still no Ninetales yet. I'm going to click Hurricane into Blaziken. If they switch Ninetales in here, then Weather Ball will turn into an Ice-type attack. That's not really valuable. Actually, I think Blaziken probably protects, right? With that in mind, I'm actually going to switch Basculegion in. And I'm going to click Body Press into Garchomp since I've already lowered our Chaladon's special attack. They Terra Ground. They Stomping Tantrum into our Chaladon. It does a lot of damage. Blaziken has Aura Sphere, sure. Alright, special or mixed Blaziken. Yeah, this is where Sinistcha would have been valuable to keep our Chaladon healthy, although not sure it would have been up to the task here anyway. I think we just go for it with Wave Crash here, right? Unless I want to Aqua Jet for some reason. I mean, Blaziken is going to snowball speed-wise. Also, I could see the Scarf being on Blaziken. Or, not the Scarf, the Sash. I'm going to lock into Wave Crash, though. And I'll go for a Weather Ball into Blaziken now. Dragonite is their last Pokemon, okay. That took a lot from Wave Crash. It is Choice Banded in Rain. They have Coaching on Blaziken. And that is where the Sash is. Okay, Basculegion is Choice Locked now. Let's just try to take out Blaziken or Garchomp if they switch it back in. I would love to get Hurricane Confusion into Dragonite. That would be amazing. Don't know that it's going to happen. It did good damage. Maybe I should have clicked the Stellar Terra there. Dragonite takes out Pelipper. I just need Basculegion to get 2 KOs. That's all there is to it. Terra Water, Wave Crash into Dragonite. I had a feeling Garchomp might protect. Oh, they both protected. Never mind. And I lose my Rain now. So I think that's GG. Yeah. Oh well. I didn't even KO Dragonite once the rain was gone. Okay, Greninja dropping in one hit kind of hurt me in the long run there. That and the Kilowattrel roll making it hard to terastallize the Archaludon. I could have tried to take out Kilowattrel turn 1. I just thought thought there was a good chance I'd have the Focus Sash. Alright, Metagross, Pelipper, Mienshao, Kingdra, Incineroar, Sinistcha. So they have their own rain thing going on. That's not the easiest for me to deal with, honestly, with this team. I mean, I have the stronger Swift Swim Pokemon. Definitely think I bring Basculegion into this one. I actually think I might just bring the same 4. Maybe I could learn my lesson and bring Sinistcha, but... I mean, so having Rain Dance on Greninja frees me to... Oh, you know what? My opponent probably brings Rain, right? Alright, I don't think I need Pelipper for this game. I also can click Rain Dance with Greninja if I get the chance, although I am probably prioritizing the side Water Shuriken. And Shao, okay. I could Terra Ghost. Given that I don't have Protect on Greninja, and I don't especially want to switch here, I think I actually will. Water Shuriken immediately. My opponent has 2 physical threats on the field. They could fake out into Archaludon. I don't think it matters that much if they do. Let's just body press into this. They didn't fake out Greninja. So not the best use of my Terra there, because it probably didn't accomplish anything. Although they might have tried to, like... Okay, the dream is that they tried to high jump kick Greninja here, because then the Mienshao damages itself. No, just close combat into Archaludon. Which takes that reasonably well at +4 defense. Double into it. Sash Mienshao, okay. Unfortunately, I cannot Terra Bug the Archaludon now, so I'd like to click Rain Dance. I can probably click Rain Dance, right? Actually, let's just do this. I don't know what's better here. I want to Rain Dance. I want to be able to Electro Shot. Nice, they protect Mienshao. Okay, good, got that one right. Greninja does drop to a Heavy Slam. No longer a Water type, of course, but gets the Rain set up first. And now I get Sinistcha in for free. So this time, Greninja fainting quickly might actually be beneficial. They could have Wide Guard on Mienshao, but if they click that, then they're not clicking something that might be more helpful to them. So I'm going to Matcha Gotcha and Electro Shot here. Now we've got this Archaludon properly snowballing. Sinistcha, I've heavily invested the Sinistcha in special defense, but it still takes the Heavy Slam. Take out both their Pokemon. Archaludon's at +6 defense, +2 special attack. What's left? Pelipper and Kingdra. Alright, Kingdra's a threat, obviously. But Basculegion probably wins the game from here. I'm just going to click Rage Powder to redirect Kingdra's attack. And I might as well click Electro Shot into it. I could see them protecting Kingdra and attacking with Pelipper, which I didn't cover for. They take out Sinistcha anyway, though. The Pelipper Terra Grass makes it immune to Rage Powder, but they still wanted to get rid of the Sinistcha. But now I get Basculegion. It's Last Respect Kingdra. Draco Meteor Pelipper. They Draco Meteor Archaludon first, so Kingdra being faster is an issue. Then Basculegion is an issue for me there. But Basculegion has no teammates left. It'll take this Weather Ball. Is it Sash Pelipper? No, we know that the Sash was on the Mienshao, so this should just KO, right? Nice. Alright, that one still didn't feel super smooth, but I mean, it went a lot better than the previous one. I guess they had to invest a lot into getting rid of Archaludon, and they didn't have enough then for the Basculegion in the back, so that still worked out okay. Talonflame, Garchomp, Goldengo, Male and Indeedee, Sneasler, and Electabuzz. So I can still click Side Water Shuriken in Psychic Terrain because it only stops priority into opponents, not into your own Pokemon. But they can redirect it with Electabuzz. It might be worth a shot. Also, the Flying type this time is Talonflame, so if I can get a bunch of stamina boosts into Archaludon, I'm still not that afraid of clicking Terra Bug in front of it. Terra Bug Archaludon is pretty good here, I would think. I haven't really found a game where I especially want to bring Annihilate so far. I don't know that this is it either, especially with the Indeedee there. I actually think I might be better off leading like Pelipper or Basculegion into this, although I don't have Tailwind, so if they go Talonflame and some fast attacker, then I'm kind of just exposing Basculegion to danger. I could do Pelipper or Chaldon lead here. Basculegion in the back, and once again, the responsible choice is probably Sinistcha, but I'm going to bring Greninja because it's the Greninja video. Okay, Garchomp, Talonflame. I still feel okay to Terra Bug, even though I don't have any boosts yet. And I think I'll just double into this Talonflame. If I can get rid of it quickly. Yeah, and they don't attack with it this turn. Stomping Tantrum is fine. It's resisted. It gives me a stamina boost. Even if Talonflame has a Sash. Oh, okay. The only problem is because I clicked Electro Shot. It's not Sash Talonflame. I don't know why I would assume that it is. I run Covert Cloak myself, but that meant the Electro Shot did nothing into Garchomp. And now Indeedee is here, and Indeedee is actually kind of a problem. They still have Tailwind up. I think I just need AV or Chaldon to take this. Oh, I have Wide Guard. Nice. I forgot I had Wide Guard. That stops the Expanding Force. And prompts a forfeit. Dragon Claw doesn't one-shot Pelipper. It was never going to anyway because of the Focus Sash. Electro Shot takes out the Indeedee. That was a quick one. Didn't manage to get Greninja onto the field, but there you go. Rain is strong in this format. Go figure. Our Chaldon, Goldango, Mousehold, Politoed, Barraskewda, and Corviknight. So once again, it's a Rain team with a faster Swift Swim user than I'm running. Barraskewda has one of the highest speed stats in the format. It's crazy. It's not an especially good Pokemon otherwise, but that does make it kind of threatening here, actually. This feels like a game where I want to lean heavily on our Chaldon, and I probably don't want to Terrastallize it. So actually, Drill Run Barraskewda could also be an issue. But not if I position right with Sinistcha, I guess. I could see Annihilate being good here, too. I don't know, it's tricky. I think I'm going to do Greninja or Chaldon, go for the setup, bring Sinistcha. I could very easily lose to their Chaldon at this point. I'll bring Basculegion. It's just my strongest attacker after that. Don't know that I have a better idea into their Chaldon. Actually, opposing our Chaldon seems like kind of an issue for this team sometimes. I really want to side Water Shuriken, but they have Mousehold on the field, which means they can redirect the Water Shuriken. That said, landing Water Shuriken into Mousehold is not such a bad thing, so I'm going to go for it anyway. That said, setting up Rain would also be very good here. I'm going to go for Rain Dance and Electro Shot. Terra Fighting Goldango. Uh-oh. I just one-shot the Chaldon immediately with a Terra Blast crit. Alright, that's a really bad turn one. They only got 2 hits with Population Bomb, though, so I was lucky there. I guess I just try to throw off a lot of Water-type damage now. I can Terra Ghost, too, so that I only have Ghost types left, and the Population Bomb isn't a threat anymore. And just double Water-type damage Goldango. Oh, okay, yeah, they can do that. That's true. I thought they might not, considering they clicked Population Bomb last time. Water Shuriken doesn't quite KO. At least we minimize the Wave Crash recoil, but what does Goldango do now? Terra Blast into Greninja. Nice, I made it immune. Oh, it could be Specs Goldango. Could be locked into that. Don't know how I ever beat this Chaldon, though. Oh, I have Haze on Greninja. That's probably another thing that Haze is for, besides Dondozo, is for when the opponent's Chaldon is set up. But even so, I was kind of counting on my own Chaldon to beat this Chaldon. I'm going to hope that this is Specs Greninja, or Goldango. And I'm going to do what damage I can with this Dark Pulse. They do switch it out, so that's good. Dark Pulse does some damage. And it gets the flinch, nice. We certainly take those after the Terra Blast crit earlier. I don't know if it mattered. Dark Pulse again. And I think just Rage Powder, yeah. They don't have a way to heal their Chaldon. So actually, yeah, another Dark Pulse takes it out now. The Dragon Pulse doesn't do too much to this very specially bulky Sinistcha that I have here. Icy Wind lowers Greninja's speed, but that should be okay, I think. I guess Shadow Ball Goldango is a threat, but I have Last Respect in the back. Let's Dark Pulse and Rage Powder again. This is the last turn of Rain. I think that's also okay. Maybe not. Maybe I need Swift Swim. So let's hope I get another chance to click Rain Dance. I probably will. Unless they just go for Make It Rain here and they're faster. Well, I'm going to Rain Dance and... Rage Powder does work on Goldango, I think. Because it doesn't target Goldango, it targets the user. I think that's right. Oh, there goes the Shadow Ball into Sinistra either way. Goldango confirmed faster than -1 Greninja. But the point of that was the Swift Swim. And now a Water Shuriken for the priority attack into Goldango. I'll lock Basculegion into Last Respects. That Water Shuriken is doing good damage. It's just Politoed left, and I don't think it has the tools to beat Basculegion. Alright, endgame Basculegion really coming through for this team a couple of times now. And can't say Greninja didn't put in work in that one. The 2 Rain Dances were pretty important. Well, I guess Politoed was coming back in here anyway. The 2 Rain Dances were helpful, and the Water Shuriken put in some work there. Oh, and the Dark Pulse 3-hit KO into our Chaladon. That was the real thing there in that game. Gave me an answer to that giant threat. Sneasler, Ursaluna, Blood Moon form, Dragonite, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Porygon 2, Doug without the Goldango. Or if you prefer, P2 Ursa with the other Ursa. Solid, well-balanced team, though, from the looks of it. How do I beat it? Well, for once, I'm not really afraid to click Terra Bug. Unless it's like Flying Terra Blast Dragonite, which is not unheard of. They have a strong Trick Room mode. Lead Basculegion is pretty threatening into some of their team, but not enough of it that I think it's worthwhile. I think this might be the game for the Annihilate stuff, actually. Boosted Rage Fist goes crazy into some of this team. Close Combat into the rest. This isn't the super bulky Annihilate that I'm more used to, but I think it's worth a shot. Let's do Greninja Annihilate Bleed this time. I'll bring Basculegion. The late game Last Respects or Wave Crash could be clutch again here. And I think I'll bring Pelipper. I don't feel great leaving our Chaladon behind. It's kind of the strongest Pokemon on this team, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just fumbling because I don't know how to play into Trick Room with this. Yeah, I don't know how I beat Porygon 2. I think I'm down to just do this side, Water Shuriken, Terra Water, Rage Fist, Dragonite. Don't really know if that gets me to where I need to be with this matchup, but it's a play. Is gonna knock out Greninja? I think no if it's 4 hits, yes if it's 5. It's 5, okay. Once again, Greninja gets to do one thing and then drop, but the one thing it did was pretty valuable. That Dragonite also now, because they set Trick Room, their own Dragonite is going to be faster than Annihilate now, so I actually kind of have an advantage in turn order there. I hope they don't have Thunderbolt on Porygon 2. Let's Weather Ball this and Rage Fist this. They have Thunderbolt. But they targeted the Pelipper, they broke the Focus Sash, but Pelipper's still here. Annihilate gets a KO. There are a lot of Trick Room turns left to get through, though, and Basculegion is, of course, turbo fast in the back. I'm going to protect Pelipper this turn, and close combat the Ursaluna. Terra Ghost. I'm used to them running Terra Normal. I don't know if that's changed lately. That's sort of me being a little bit out of touch with the meta. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I think Trick Room kind of just wrecks me here. I don't know that our Chaladon could have saved this one because they have a lot of... I mean, this Ursaluna is just a menace. I lock into Aqua Jet here, but then I'm stuck clicking that for the rest of the game. And does it really beat their team? I'm actually going to Wide Guard here so that if they click Hyper Voice, They don't get any damage from it. Oh, but I have to take out the Porygon 2 then, don't I? Okay, what I'm actually going to do is go for the double protect and Wave Crash Porygon 2, and then if that works, which it doesn't, I can try to Wide Guard. It doesn't matter, they Blood Moon. Alright, yeah, once the Trick Room went up, I guess I just didn't have this one figured out. Rage Fist into Ursaluna would have gone crazy, but as far as I know, most of them run Terra Normal. It's possible that's changed, and I'm just not aware. There's definitely a very serious chance of that. Okay. I think that'll do for Reg H. For Reg J, I have perhaps one of the worst team concepts I've come up with. Actually, I forgot to fill out a Greninja set. Hang on, give me a moment. There we go. Yeah, it's Water Shuriken Greninja with Weakness Policy, Terra Ground, Shadow Rider, Calyrex. Ideally, Koraidon comes out first to set up the Sun to weaken the Water Shuriken, and then try to do big damage. That's the plan. It's not a very good plan, but Greninja and Reg J felt like I had to get a little creative. Alright, here's a Magearna Annihilate team. This one with Ice Rider, Kingambit, Blood Moon Ursaluna, and Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. So this team looks like it really wants to get Trick Room up. I'm going to go Koraidon, Fluttermane. Into this, maybe I need Farigiraf. I'm going to go Koraidon, Farigiraf, Calyrex. Greninja. It is Imprisoned Trick Room Farigiraf. I don't really know how I position that on this team. It's probably not a great idea. But at least I can stop. That's supposed to be Terra Fire. I just picked the wrong thing in the drop-down menu, I guess. Well. Let's break Sturdy and deny Trick Room. Oh. Alright, fair enough. Flare Cannon. I think I have to Terra Fire the Koraidon here, as much as I'd rather save the Terra for Calyrex. Don't think it's happening this game. Oh, right, it's Terra Flying. Well, that still turns off the Fairy weakness. Mission accomplished. Get 2 KOs there. Taunt ends on Farigiraf, and Farigiraf's still at full HP. I might just be able to reverse the Trick Room right here. Protect, Trick Room. Glacial Lance. Blood Moon into Farigiraf. KOs. Alright, didn't get to do that, but I can get out of the Trick Room now. I don't know if I can win the game, but I can get out of the Trick Room. Actually, Sun ending at the same time means that... I'll go for the double protect, why not? Sun ending at the same time means that Greninja can Water Shuriken for damage into the Ursaluna. Don't know if it'll do amazing damage, and I don't have loaded dice this time, but it can be done. I will say this for Greninja. Shiny Greninja is one of the great shinies, for sure. I'm actually going to double into their Calyrex here. Try to get rid of... Okay. Shouldn't have done that. I'd to guarantee a KO if I could. Yeah, that's GG. Let's see what Water Shuriken does to this Ursaluna, though. Only 2 hits. Okay. Rough start. Let's see if we get a better matchup next game. Let's see if we get a matchup next game. Seems to be taking a little bit of time here. There we go. Incineroar, Koraidon, Ursaluna, Amoonguss, Fluttermane, Lunala. Tricky team. Especially since they could have Wide Guard. Well, let's stick to the plan. Let's just bring these 4. Ursaluna, Lunala, pretty much the last lead I wanted to see here. But I mean, I can pressure any attempt at a Trick Room here. No Terra. I didn't Shadow Ball because I'd probably Terra to avoid it, but we still KO Lunala. So there we go, no Trick Room. Already a way better start. I guess Moonblast was just correct there anyway, because it still got the job done without a Terra. Alright, so these Flutter Mane will probably Speed Tie. I don't want to Terrastalize Rhydon. I think. Maybe I do. Maybe I just don't do the... This is a problem, I guess, with running Koraidon on this team. I keep getting into these positions where I'm like, maybe I need to Terrastalize that and not do the weakness policy thing. You know what? Actually, if I just get a Shadow Ball into their Flutter Mane, I can beat it with Water Shuriken after that. Or they Shadow Ball my Flutter Mane and I knock theirs out with Koraidon. That works too. And their Ursaluna is now a Ghost type, so it's vulnerable to Astral Barrage. They take out Koraidon. I will go Calyrex first here. You see their Koraidon. I'm down to Protect and Icy Wind first. Try to maneuver to get Greninja on the field next to Calyrex. Headlong Rush takes out my Flutter Mane, okay. Alright, let's see if this works. Terra Ground, Astral Barrage, Water Shuriken into the partner. Let's go. Calyrex should be the fastest Pokemon on the field. But Water Shuriken, of course, will go first with the priority. We get the weakness policy. We get a crit into our own Pokemon and a 4 hits total, but it only does 30%, and then the Astral Barrage wipes them out. That's what I wanted to see here. I could end the video there, but let's get at least one more game. Okay, another Koraidon Lunala team. This one has Hisui and Lilligant, though, which is definitely not the easiest Pokemon to deal with sometimes, along with Whimsicott, Torkoal, and Indeedee. I think I might feel better leading Chi-Yu instead of Flutter Mane into this one, although it's tricky if we see their Koraidon in the lead, but Chi-Yu is so threatening into the rest of their team. No, I like the speed boost on Flutter Mane as well. Let's just do the same for us last game. See what they come up with. What do we got? Lilligant Koraidon. That's gonna be hard to deal with. Maybe they miss a Sleep Powder. Oh, it's coaching. Okay. It's Clear Amulet, Koraidon, Covert Cloak, Lilligant. We take out the Lilligant, though, with the Flame Charge. But yeah, I can't lower Koraidon's speed as much as I'd like to, because they have their own Flame Charge there now. There's the Whimsicott. I can set Tailwind. I'm just going to go close combat into their Koraidon. I just want to take this thing out if I can. If Whimsicott clicks Moonblast, then it's not clicking Tailwind, so Koraidon will be faster. I'm just gonna... I'm actually gonna protect Flutter Mane this turn. Oh no, they can Encore it now. Why do I still fall for that so often? Take out my Koraidon. I don't have my own... Yeah, Icy Wind there would have been helpful. But I didn't click it. I don't have my own Tailwind here, so... I could Ground Terror Blast the Koraidon. I'm down. There's the Encore. I just take out Calyrex. Yeah, okay, so this combo needed pretty specific conditions to work. Like that last opponent letting me knock out their Trick Room setter turn 1. I guess that's a problem with Reg J. There's so much, or with running weird stuff like this in Reg J, there's so much strong speed control that I get a lot of silly team ideas that just kind of lose to that, and so they don't turn out well. But we got one win with this. We got one big win with Greninja, side Water Shuriken into Weakness Policy, Terror Ground, Shadow Rider, Calyrex, and you know, sometimes that's all you can ask for. I definitely had some fun with Greninja here, and I only scratched the surface of all the weird and interesting things that this Pokemon can do. I didn't run Protean. Obviously, I didn't run Battle Bond because that's not allowed in VGC, but I didn't do anything with Protean, didn't do anything with its pretty wide physical move pool. My first idea for Reg J was to use Toxic Spikes Greninja with some kind of Dondozo stuff, but didn't do that. So it's not necessarily the strongest Pokemon out there, but it's pretty flexible in what it can do, and I can definitely see it having a valuable niche on some teams, like it clearly did in this team from Monterey. Reg H Rain with Greninja was fun to pilot for sure. Greninja is a little bit of a tricky Pokemon to use because it's not super strong and it really isn't bulky, so it got knocked out quickly in a lot of those games, and I had to think carefully about what options to prioritize when it was on the field because I might not get to click more than one or two buttons. But it definitely put in work in some of those games. And hey, we pulled off the Water Shuriken into Calyrex once, at least, so I'm pretty happy with that. Greninja, like I said, not my favorite of its trio, but I do like it, and probably my favorite of these three videos. Definitely a fun and interesting Pokemon, and we'll see how much further they push it with Mega Evolution in Legends ZA.